Welcome to London, the capital city of the United Kingdom. And welcome to the summit of Ben Nevis. Woo! So how did I get there from here in utter luxury? Here's the Planet Playground story.
London is a city full of attractions, from the River Thames, Big Ben, the West End, Buckingham Palace and its shopping. Perhaps a city that won't bring you one of the world's great adventures.
Or will it? Because from here in central London, I'm going to conquer the UK's highest mountain.
Coming up, I'll travel overnight from central London to Fort William on the prestigious Caledonian Sleeper. In the morning, after a night's sleep on board, I'll have breakfast before arriving in the Highlands of Scotland. I'll then climb to the summit of Ben Nevis before celebrating with a post-hike drink at the Ben Nevis Inn. This is how to do Ben Nevis in utter luxury.
That's some blue sky there as well. Ben Nevis in luxury. Love it. So join me for 24 hours as I go from the centre of London to the summit of Ben Nevis, because our planet is our playground. Let's play.
My first job is to get out of the hustle and bustle and to London's Euston Station.
So from one of the busiest cities in the world to one remote mountaintop.
The Caledonian Sleeper departs from platform 1 each evening, and club and double room guests can enjoy its lounge before departure.
My journey time on the Caledonian Sleeper is 13 hours, and breakfast will be served before arrival into Fort William. And when I wake up, the Highlands of Scotland will be stretched out in front of me. Here we go. This is home for the night. We're moving! The first thing you have to do once on board the Caledonian Sleeper is the very important ticking of the breakfast menu boxes so we can wake up to a feast. We're arriving into Scotland, so Scottish breakfast.
The Caledonian Sleeper is one of the UK's most loved railway journeys. The club car is great for drinks and dinner, or you can order room service if you prefer. There's plenty of storage for things like prams and bikes and accessible facilities throughout.
And because I'm on a mission to conquer Ben Nevis in luxury, I have booked a club cabin with ensuite shower.
The club room comes with bunk beds, a shower, toilet, room for storage, a wash basin and some lovely chocolates to dive into. There's also climate control, plenty of sockets and some nice lighting options so I can tuck into an appropriate book.
Now, of course, because departure is 9:15 in the evening, it means the view outside the window at the moment is essentially yourself. But in the morning, that will be something special. Good night, England. See you in the morning, Scotland. Not a bad view to wake up to, is it? Welcome to the Scottish Highlands, everyone. It's an absolutely ridiculous view to be brushing your teeth to. Look at this.
Once I got myself ready, it was to the club car to tuck into that Scottish breakfast and a much needed cup of coffee. Well, it is a big day ahead. And then just took in the views of one of the world's most incredible landscapes.
We stopped in Rannoch and we're a million miles away from central London.
With arrival into Fort William at 10 a.m, get up early enough and you'll have plenty of time to enjoy these incredible views as you travel along the world-famous West Highland Line. And as you approach Fort William, a certain mountain comes into view.
Look, the first sighting today of Ben Nevis. Looks nice from here. Shame we've got to climb it. Can we just look at it from here, please? There it is. That's what's to come.
In many ways, I don't want my journey on the Caledonian Sleeper to come to an end. It's been a magnificent way to travel from London to the Highlands of Scotland. And when you arrive, if you're lucky enough, you may be greeted by the Harry Potter train.
10 o'clock and we have arrived in Fort William, the adventure capital of the UK. And it doesn't come much bigger than today's adventure, the summit of Ben Nevis.
At Fort William Station, club and double room passengers have access to the lounge. But for me...
The clock is ticking. Ben Nevis is not somewhere you want to be when it gets dark. So I've got about 8.5 hours to get up, summit and back down.
So a quick trip into the supermarket to get some supplies and then a short taxi journey to the Ben Nevis Visitor Centre.
If I'm not back by 8, cheers now, see you later, have a good day.
The Visitor Centre does have a shop for any last minute mountain essentials.
Well, here we go. Just a matter of hours ago, I was in central London, and after a wonderful night's sleep on the Caledonian Sleeper, we are now on the tourist path, heading up Ben Nevis. That's the Ben Nevis Inn there, which is where I plan to stop once I'm back down off the mountain as part of this luxurious trip to the summit of the UK's highest mountain.
The beginning of the journey as well signposted as you climb the first of 4,413 feet.
Reaching the summit of Ben Nevis is actually fairly straightforward. The tourist path which guides you up is well laid out, but there are a few things to watch out for which I'll point out as we go up.
For a full detailed guide on how you reach the summit of Ben Nevis, I'll put a link to the video at the end of this adventure. Your first task, though, is to climb yourself out of the glen, taking in the incredible views before you enter the clouds.
Well, there's a little seat here, and as I'm doing Ben Nevis in luxury, then I think it's only right that I sit down and enjoy the view.
No time to hang about, though. It was soon back to the steps, and after about an hour or so, you'll cross this little bridge, which marks the end of the first part of this climb.
Once you've turned left after the bridge, it's almost the steepest part of the climb. It's a tough little stretch, but after this, it flattens out.
And as I'm now almost halfway up Ben Nevis, I would love you to subscribe. Thanks.
The only bit of flat ground on the entire hike to the summit. So enjoy it whilst you have it. It doesn't last long, but it's lovely.
It's here you'll pass Loch and Meal. It's known as Halfway Lake, as it's halfway to the summit. It's a good spot to layer up, ready for the colder conditions.
I am ready for the summit of Ben Nevis. Let's do this. It was warmer in Leicester Square, I can tell you that.
As you climb on, you'll soon reach one of the most spectacular moments of the hike.
The waterfall, always a milestone on this hike. It normally marks the point you're about to go into the clouds, which is exactly what we're about to do.
As the weather changes and the ground becomes looser, the upper switchback section soon begins, taking you closer to the summit.
And this is where that switchback begins. It's basically this for the next 45 minutes, an hour, and then the final straight to the summit.
This is a section where you need to get your head down and just keep moving forwards.
We're making progress here. That is the second right-hand turn. The weather is on our side. Not too much in the way of rain, a little breezy. And look, there's some blue sky there as well. Oh, Ben Nevis in luxury. Love it.
That didn't last long, however.
The weather could not stay on my side. This is only going to get worse towards the summit. The third right-hand bend. Turn this, up here, turn left. And then it's the summit. It just beats you up this mountain. When you get towards the top, make sure you stay on the path. Don't go anywhere near the edge, because that is just a sheer drop. Stay on the path. The summit is moments away. Oh. Stay next to the cairns, because that is not something to play with. We are almost at the highest point in the United Kingdom.
Once you've reached the upper plateau, you'll find the old observatory and the emergency hut.
And that is how you go from the centre of London to the top of the UK's highest mountain in luxury. Welcome to the summit of Ben Nevis. Woo! Although, don't you think my legs will agree with the luxury statement?
Once you have summited, and depending on the conditions, make sure you enjoy the moment. The top of Ben Nevis is a special place to be. And after reaching the highest point in the UK, there's one last element of this luxury trip to the summit of Ben Nevis. So it's back down the mountain, which can be harder than going up it, and to the Ben Nevis Inn.
My next stop on this luxury mission to conquer Ben Nevis from London. There's a pub here called the Ben Nevis Inn when you get back to the bottom of the tourist track. My legs are broken.
Thank you so much for watching this Planet Playground video. If, like me, you enjoy discovering our world through sport and adventure, please do subscribe. I'd love you to like the video if you have enjoyed watching it, and leave a comment with any questions as well. You can click here to watch my full Ben Nevis guide.